Welcome back, everybody. Decided to do another drive around video. I know, probably boring, but it is what it is today. Today's Memorial Day, obviously. Decided that I'm gonna go do a little run. It's been a long time since I've actually ran. I mean, I've been slowly trying to get back into it, but it's been tragic. I mean, it's never been good, don't get me wrong, but now it's at an all-time low, so trying to get a little bit better with that, and using Memorial Day as kind of a, I don't know, a pilot point. Does that even make sense? Anyway, so as you can see, I'm leaving Walmart here. I just had to go pick up some water, and now I'm heading over to a park called John Rudy Park. The angle of the camera looks crooked, doesn't it? I have this phone holder, which I've talked about in previous videos, but it's very weak. It just doesn't hold very well, so I'm kind of like on a balancing thing. Excuse me. We'll make it work. It is what it is, right? So yeah, John Rudy Park. It's a park here in Pennsylvania. Pretty nice park. We've taken Otis out there a couple times. It doesn't usually get too busy. I'm wondering today if it's going to be a little crazy with it being Memorial Day. They have, of course, pavilions and things for people to do little barbecues, I guess, and, you know, family times. So who knows what's going to happen on Memorial Day over there, but we'll find out. Either way, I'm going just to run. That parking lot across the street there, it's kind of odd. I don't know, maybe I'm not used to them, but it's like a little parking area, park and ride kind of thing. Share, where people share like cars, what do they call it? Share ride? I don't know. You may remember this point from last time, our last video I did when I went driving, testing out the new camera. It was right here. We're going to be going a little bit further today, like I said, to John Rudy Park, probably 15 minutes away. I don't know. Complete guess. I have no idea. See if we can see anybody driving erratically, crazy. We'll see. There's always something weird going on around here with these roads. And now you may not see. I was going to say you'll see what I'm talking about with the on-ramps and off-ramps here in the area. Pennsylvania are very, very short. But this one here is actually a decent one, so you won't get to experience that. There's a couple I can go a little further. I'm not going to do it, but they are ridiculous. I'm talking right now, you'd have to get over where the road would end. It's crazy. It's supposed to rain today. They're saying maybe a little bit later. The news yesterday said it was going to rain all day today, but you know how accurate the news and what meteorology is. Meteorologists are. I don't know if I used that correct. Usually on the left side of the road, which you can't see right now, but over there's always police officers hanging out, you know, looking for trouble. But not today, which is odd, you know, Memorial Day, usually holidays, they're out and about looking for drunks. Drunk drivers, I should say. And I gotta say, there's probably a lot of that around here. There's a lot of alcohol sold in this area, I've noticed. Weird thing to notice, but I've noticed it. So this is the Newberry exit here. Fun story, that Rutter's, that gas station on the left there, the red covering looking place, that was the, when I moved up here from Texas, and we drove, if you didn't know, I drove up here back in June of 2022 with Sheila. I drove the largest U-Haul you could drive with her Honda Civic behind it. She drove my truck, fully loaded, mind you. And I'm not very experienced with driving large trucks like that. So it was an experience. I mean, it was actually pretty smooth. But anyway, back to that Rutter's. That's a Rutter's that we stopped at when we were almost to our stopping point. I don't know why I had to tell you that story. There's no meaning to it, just I stopped there, but I've been there many times, so I don't know why that story made any sense. But either way, that was kind of my first impression of Pennsylvania, was that Rutter's. Not sure what Rutter's is. They're a gas station here. They're an okay gas station. They're not your QT like you would get in Texas, but they have some pros also and some cons. They're not terrible. Sheetz and Rutter's are the two gas stations here that are pretty big, in my area anyway. Again, QT, that's something that was starting to come around in San Antonio area before I left, and that's a great store. I like it anyway. They're quick. You don't have to wait in line really. They're quick. Their cashiers have a good system. So yeah, interesting stuff, right? But yeah, I should have turned my camera down here. That's Conewago. This is Conewago Township, but there's that creek right there on the right there. You can't see it because I can't move the camera. Well, actually, it's all grown over right now, but usually there's a really cool looking little house down there, a nice little property. And I always wonder if they get some flooding, but I don't know. So again, I talked about this last time. This is Highway 83. Not much going on today on it, but at least once a day there's an accident, especially during the week. Very, very dangerous. In fact, last week there was a 21-year-old motorcyclist, and he crashed, and unfortunately he didn't make it. I read the article later. I actually drove by it after they were already cleaning it up, but you can see the bike laying over. Traffic was backed up 20 minutes. So yeah, again, every day, if you have plans and you want to get somewhere by a certain time, you better leave early if you're taking 83. See a sign there? There's a Sheetz and a Rutter's up here. Now this is the Shrinestown exit. There's a restaurant over here called the 83 Diner, which is decent. I wouldn't say it's amazing, but they are so quick. They're faster than fast food, in my opinion. You sit down, you order. It's almost scary how fast your food comes out. I mean, they have everything, but it's kind of like a breakfast joint, in my opinion. But they are so quick. There's your Sheetz sign up there on the top right. Fun fact about this area here, if you, like I mentioned alcohol earlier, if you like that kind of stuff, you can't get it in this township. This is a dry township, which I've never heard of before. You know, you read about it in history books and stuff, but it's actually still alive and well here in Pennsylvania, at least this area. So if you're a boozer, you have to kind of travel a little bit, I guess, to get your alcohol, because you cannot get it in the stores here. Now that Rutter's that we passed earlier, when I mentioned that, you know, I stopped there on the way to Pennsylvania when I moved here, that one you can buy it in. So that's how short that township is. It's just a small little area. So you see this big white building on our right here? That's a big manufacturing plant. I believe it's called E3, something like that. They work with local grocery store called Giant here, I believe. And it is massive. You can see we're still driving against it, and I'm going 65 miles an hour. So I mean, I don't know, it's big. You can't see it, but it's still going. Or maybe you can see it. Yeah, so that's a massive warehouse. On the left side, there's more coming in. In fact, that's a big complaint a lot of the people who are in the area are having right now, is they keep building manufacturing plants. They sit empty, for one. Like these two on the left here that we just drove by, they're empty. Well, maybe that one may have some action going on. I see trucks back there. It just opened though. But anyway, people are very, very unhappy with the manufacturing plants because the roads aren't made for it. You have 18-wheelers on these little back roads, you know, jackknifing and blocking traffic. So yeah, there's been a lot of unhappy people around here. And again, I worry about the housing market with that. Is that gonna crash the market in our area? Anybody with home selling expertise out there, if you can let me know. Do manufacturing plants, bad traffic, hurt your market value? I feel like they do. Another reason to rush and get some repairs done in the house. In fact, yesterday in our basement, we started pulling up the carpet in the office down there, and that was a bit of a chore because it's been there for 50 years. And you talk about glue and everything else that's all dried up and won't come off very easy, so a lot of elbow grease went into getting that removed. We did that. We did the bathroom downstairs, utility room, and now we just have the main basement room, which that carpet seems very solid, so I'm a little hesitant to start. but it's got to get done. So maybe today we'll start ripping some of that out. We'll see. Another manufacturing plant on the right there. That's GameStop, actually. GameStop's kind of on their way out, aren't they? More manufacturing plants on the left. It's like packaging plants, all kinds of stuff around here. It's kind of an eyesore, right? That place on the right fixes 18-wheelers. I don't know why anybody would be interested. I don't know why I'm even talking about the boring businesses around here, but why not? So this is going to be my exit here, Emmetsville. We may see it, but if you look up here on the left, pay attention to the left, you're going to see a big statue of a guy holding a barbell with some weight. Maybe you can't see it. What's that? Anyway. Yeah, right there on the left, that York Barbell. Obviously, it's York Barbell. They sell, weight equipment. And then the building right there that we just passed, that's the Hall of Fame, Weightlifting Hall of Fame, which I've been through it before. It's self-guided. It's free. I mean, if you're interested in weightlifting, then I'm sure it's awesome, but I don't know. I recognize some of the names, but yeah, it's a lot of reading if you're into that. It's interesting. It's very short, but again, self-guided. You can take your time. So yeah, just a reminder, if you haven't yet, I ask that you, if you don't mind, if you can subscribe to the channel. Trying to grow it up a little bit. We're at, I believe, when this is posted, 493. I'd like to get to 500, and then of course keep building. And I know that I need to get some better content for sure. Nobody wants to hear me talking as we drive around the boring back roads of central Pennsylvania, or maybe you do. I don't know. Some people are into it, especially as the weather is getting nicer now, and a lot of our weekends are spent working on that house trying to get it ready. But we may start doing some little trips, Gettysburg, things like that. They're very close to us. So definitely subscribe if you're not already. Should be getting the green here soon. There we go. But yeah, so like I said, we're on the way to John Rudy Park. Nice park. It backs up to the, I forget what they call it, the rail trail or something like that. Basically, there's a railroad that kind of rolls through the area, miles and miles. And they have a track that you can run and jog and ride your bike, walk, whatever you want to do next to it. We've done a little bit of it before next to this kind of river. It's kind of nice. I'm not doing that today, though. I like doing the big loop at John Rudy just because it keeps me, I don't know, accountable in a way. I know how far I need to go to reach a certain point. It looks like that phone is just rocking away. I apologize for that. If anybody has any recommendations on a great phone stand, or I don't know what they're called, phone mount for a vehicle that is reasonably priced, if you can let me know in the comments or message me. But yeah, it's very green right now, and it's always green in Pennsylvania, I've noticed. It's pretty nice out. And this is a very confusing little intersection here. It's small, not a lot going on, but I can't show you right now, but you got double roads on the left kind of. So if you're not used to the area and you're using GPS, it may take you to that top road. I saw an 18-wheeler get stuck the other day, and it was a whole deal. He had to back up, and people were all upset. You know how people are. Impatient because they're trying to get to McDonald's, I don't know. So this deli right here on the left, you can barely see it. There's no cars right there. Their hours, I don't even know when they're open. I've looked before and it's ridiculous. They're open like Monday to Thursday, 11 p.m. to 4 or something. How are you supposed to, I guess if you don't have a job or if you work in the area, you can go at lunchtime, but I don't know. I don't know how they make it. They've been there a long time, I think. And we're almost there, so the video will be over here soon. So hopefully I didn't bore you all too much. If you're still watching, good on you. That's impressive. Little post office right here on the left. You can't see it. This is a little one-way bridge thing, so it gets a little crazy, especially during rush hour. I mean, rush hour, right? What is rush hour around here? But after work, when I come over here to do my little walking, running, whatever you want to call it, it can get a little chaotic. Hey, more manufacturing plants. They're everywhere, which is good. We need them, right? In America, we need them, but people that live around here aren't too thrilled. In fact, my first job out of the Air Force was actually doing human resources at a manufacturing plant. That's a tough environment to work in. I'm not going to name where it was, but it wasn't fun. And I worked HR, I wasn't even out there on the manufacturing floor. Here's Baltimore Fabrication. This isn't Baltimore, by the way, but we're probably about an hour from Baltimore. Ish. And to the, well, I don't know if that's it. Yeah, actually, to the right there, you couldn't see it, of course, right? I'm so bad with this camera stuff. I mentioned the rail trail earlier. That was part of it there, but it's all grown over, so you can't really see back there anymore. This is considered East Manchester Township, which I cannot understand all the townships in this area. I don't understand it. Oh, there we go. That's part of the rail trail right there, believe it or not. Right on the other side of that guardrail, that's a track kind of thing, a path for walkers. And it ends up turning and curving and going down by the river. In fact, there's a biker. Here's some walkers. Oh, a few walkers. Maybe busy here today at John Rudy. Like I said, we're almost there. So if you take a left here, yeah, it says John Rudy County Park. And part of it is, on the other side, they have these huge fenced-in fields for dogs, which is kind of cool. And there's a friend right there walking. He's like a bloodhound. Look at him. He's sniffing away. But like I said, this is John Rudy Park. It's a nice place to jog or walk. It's where I live. There's no sidewalks, and I grew up in neighborhoods with sidewalks, so I'm used to that. So I have to kind of venture out to do anything athletic. That's an excuse I made up anyway. I don't feel comfortable running on these roads in Pennsylvania. At least where I live, very curvy, no sidewalks, like I said, thin roads. It's dangerous. Yeah, it's really busy here today, actually, for this. It doesn't look busy on the camera, but believe me, it is. So we'll see how today goes. I planned on doing what's called the Murph to work out. It's Memorial Day. Now, am I able to do the Murph as written? Absolutely not. What is it, a mile run, like 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, 300 sit-ups, or something crazy like that? Definitely not happening. We know that. The big goal for me is to try to do the mile run, because it's been a long time since I've ran. And we'll see. A lot of people here, so it's probably not going to happen just because I let people get in my head. And I am a very heavy breather. You ought to see it. It's actually entertaining, I'm sure. But anyway, everybody, I appreciate it, as usual, you guys watching that short journey. Again, we're here at John Rudy Park. I'm going to go running. Hopefully I make it with no issues. Until next time, I appreciate it. Again, thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Please hit the like button, please. Comment with any questions or comments you may have. If you have any tips or advice for me, especially on the phone mount, please let me know. Talk to you on the next one.